Okay. Now it's recording. Every time we have a session, guys, I'm going to record it and then I'm going to post it so that those of you who are not able to make it at that time will have access to it. I'm going to post it in YouTube and then you may view that in YouTube. Okay, as I was saying, we're going to learn R in this subject. So the first few topics will just be learning, getting to know R. I'm assuming that almost all of you, I saw just one or two hands there who said that they had already introduction to R, but most of you have not had any experience with R. So we're going to learn how to navigate through R. Okay, we're going to learn, we're going to use R and the IDE, the Integrated Development Environment, which is R Studio, which I'm going to discuss in a little while. So we're going to learn how to use the working directory, how to use the R script, generate projects, and use R Markdown. Okay, after this brief introduction for 1 to 2 weeks, we're going now to go to the nitty-gritty details of R and its power. The first topic we're going to learn is data visualization. Unlike the softwares that you have, for example, Excel, which is also within data visualization, but it has its inherent limitations. R, on the other hand, is so powerful as far as data visualization is concerned. We're going to make use of the package called ggplot, or this one, ggplot2. That's the grammar of graphics. I'm sorry for using some terms or some terminologies that might be very foreign to you. I said the word package. Now, what's good about R is that R is a freeware. So being a freeware, many statisticians, many data scientists, many programmers have contributed much in order to make R a very robust program. So these contributions are contained in what we call packages. Packages are codes developed by statisticians, by programmers, and even by people from different fields. There are packages for medicine. There are packages for biology, for environment, for economics, of course, for finance. Several topics, several packages that are submitted to R and then which are then made available to the users of R. That way, this software is really so robust. So robust in the sense that as of last year, there were 16,000 packages available. And these are free. These are short programs that you can attach or you can add in to R itself and make use of the power of the codes that are available in that package. An example of that is ggplot2. ggplot, GG stands for Grammar of Graphics. So in weeks 3 to 4, and maybe this will extend a bit to weeks 3, 4, 5, 6 from my experience, we would need around 2 to 3 weeks in order to have at least an appreciation of what ggplot as a software, as an add-in package for R can do. So we're going to look at graphics, data visualization being a very important aspect of data science or big data. So we're going to learn how to make use of ggplot2. We're going to learn, for example, how to do the basics, geometric objects. We call that 5 named graphs, 5 NGs, scatter plot, line graphs, histograms, box plots, and bar plots. Then we're going to learn how to do some faceting and then common problems with it. And then some brief background about coordinate systems in ggplot. This is a very exciting topic because you're going to learn how to visualize data, how to convert numbers into plots or data visualization. Of course, this will be discussed synchronously. We'll have sessions on this. And then as one of your required activity, you're going to view some ggplot2 videos. And then on weeks 4 to 5 or 5 to 6, we're going to now to do data transformation with another package called dplyr. Okay, all of these guys are made possible because R has packages that we can make use of. So at this week, we're going to learn how to make use of this. Why doesn't it highlight? This one, the pipe operator. We call it the pipe operator. And I'm going to explain to you what's the purpose of this. So we're going to learn some commands using dplyr. We have filter. So for example, you have a big data set. Let's say it contains millions of rows, but you only need a particular portion or subset of that data set. Then we can make use of this code, this command, filter, and then automatically R will give us a subset of our big data set. So we're going to also look at the arrange function, select function, the mutate function, summarize, and other verbs. Okay, all of this we're going to learn in greater detail once we get to weeks 4 or 5, depending on our pace. And then we're going to do exploratory data analysis. Okay, we're going to learn some statistical functions. Okay, we're going to do variation, covariance, variation, etc. Okay, then we're going to do then importing and tidying the data. So we're going to make use of other packages like tidyr, okay, the tidyverse package also. We'll have a case study about this. Okay, and then you'll have an exercise, okay, which we're going to submit. And then next, we're going to have now applications of data science, applications of this subject. I might be adding other applications because I found this to be quite limited. So we'll have other applications. We'll really try our best to have a flavor of the other applications as far as data science is concerned. But of course, it's very important for us as finance students to look at hypothesis testing, basic regression, multiple regression, and then that's about it. Inference about regression. This will also prepare you for your next subject, which is FINTSAD or Arts MFI, which is a subject that follows this subject. Okay, any questions so far, guys? Any questions so far?
None, sir.
None? Okay.
None, sir.
Thank you. Okay. All right. I'd like to encourage you guys to, preferably guys, you answer by not chatting, but just unmute yourself for a while and then please answer. Okay. I'd love to hear your voices. No? That gives me a sense that I'm not just facing a monitor, but facing a class, albeit virtually. All right, so here are some of the learning activities that are required of you. Okay, we might need to adjust some of this because this was the one I used last term. However, I found that we had some difficulty really, really completing all of this. We'll have to adjust depending on your pace and of course also your interest. Okay, so let's go to the first thing that we need to do. If you have your laptops there, if you have your PCs there with you or laptops there with you, may I request you to go to Google. Okay, for Wednesday, you have to have already uploaded or installed in your PCs or your laptops the two softwares that we're going to use, R and RStudio. So let me first discuss with you. Let's first navigate how to install R and RStudio. R is a freeware, as I mentioned a while ago. So what you do is go to Google and type cran. Okay, I hope you're following with me. So if you type cran, enter, the first thing that will appear is this one, Comprehensive R Archive Network. That's what CRAN stands for. Okay, do you have it, guys?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you have to go here, go to this site, And then you will, if you notice, there are here are packages. This is what I was telling you. Download R for Windows, the R journal. If you click on this, guys. All right. So this is now the comprehensive R archive network. On the in the left side, you have here mirrors. This is all about CRAN. Okay. Then about R, the homepage, the R journal, R sources, the packages, the manuals. These are very helpful and useful tools. So let's first navigate to the R homepage. Let's just look at what this, how this appears. Okay, the R project for statistical computing. So here you have, this is the latest version of R, okay, which you'll have to download depending on your PC or laptop, whether it's Windows or Mac. Okay, so let me go back. Kindly navigate through this, guys. Our journal. What do you find in our journal? Okay, here are journal articles, referred journal of the R project for statistical computing. This is an interesting site. I would suggest that you look at this and look at the, you can also have R news. By the way, guys, why are we using R? Sorry for not even forgetting to discuss this with you. First and foremost, guys, is that R is free. Is R the only free statistical package? No. Another very powerful package is Python, which I would also like to encourage you to learn. However, we can't handle both at the same time. So we will be focusing on R, which is very powerful as far as statistical computing is concerned. Python is also very powerful, but we're going to use R because there are more packages in R as far as statistical package is concerned. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why we're using this. Besides, it's free. Secondly, many companies are now requiring applicants to have a knowledge of R. So this puts you in a good, let's say, competitive position among your peers, among those who are applying for jobs, for example, from other schools. So a knowledge of R has become not anymore something nice to have, but it has become something must have already. You must know already the skills. You should have competency in R already. It's not something, as I mentioned a while ago, it's nice to have. It's no longer like that. It's a must have. So I'm happy that most of you have not had any experience with R, because hopefully this will become a jumping board for you to hone your skills as far as R is concerned. Now, of course, because we have limited time and space in this subject, I would encourage you to really learn more on your own outside this class. And as I mentioned, there's not a dearth, there's not a lack of materials, tutorials you find in YouTube, in the internet. Kayo na mamagsasawa, no? You'll be the one to have difficulty finding, choosing, not finding. There are so many tutorials, and you can choose among different topics, among different applications of R, so many. And this subject will just have a taste of it to prepare you later on for your other subjects and even for your research. Okay, so let's go back here. Okay, so one good thing about R, guys, is that it has manuals. So if I click that, okay, so this is an introduction to R where you can have the PDF copy of Introduction to R. So let me just click this. All right, so this is required reading, guys. Of course, I don't expect you to read all 105 pages, but at least, please, before our class on Wednesday, kindly peruse over this, kindly look at this and be knowledgeable about at least the basics of R. Okay, so these are some let's say explanatory aspects of R. Okay, and aside from that, guys, you can also Google and do some introductory basics of R. That will be no problem because there are many tutorials about R. Okay. All right. So manuals. Okay, let me backtrack. All right. Now, how do you now download? So I expect you guys to just follow through the instructions here. So if you're using PC, you click this. If you're using a Mac OS, then click this. And it's so easy, guys, because it's the instructions are very clear and very understandable. So for those of you who are Mac users, kindly make sure that you use the latest version, the R 4.0.3. That's the latest version. Kindly download that. For the Windows users, okay, this one. Okay, so this is what you want to install R for the first time. I'm not going to go through this because R has already been installed in my PC. If you click this, guys, okay, so this one, download R for Windows. It's also 4.0.3. So this is the latest version. Okay, are there any questions so far, guys? Any questions?
None, sir.
Okay.
None, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for answering. Okay. Now, R, as I said, is a software, and it's if you have installed R in your laptops or PCs and open it, okay, you'll find this. So this is the interface for R. Okay, so you have the R console, and here you can do codes. Okay, so just by example, you can do arithmetic here. Okay, square root. Let's say square root of 1 million, square root of 1 million. Okay, so automatically, sir? Yes.
The screen is not moving.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so this is the problem with Zoom, unlike in Big Blue Button. All right, so can you see now, guys?
Yes.
All right, so as I was saying, this is the interface of R. Okay, when you install R and open R, you're going to have this. You can do so many operations, whether it's mathematical or later on data visualization, using the R software. Okay. However, guys, the interface for R is not that pleasant to look at. It's not easy to let's say navigate through. So there has been an IDE. You call it an IDE. So can you see that, guys? It's an integrated. Sorry, I'm just typing here. Integrated development. Development environment. Okay, so that's IDE, Integrated Development Environment. So there's a software that was developed as an IDE, Integrated Development Environment for R. In other words, it's a software that you can use, which makes use of R as the engine, and that software is what we call the R Studio. Okay, so I invite you now to go to Google and type R Studio. R, there. Okay, can you see the screen, the Google screen? No?
No, sir.
Okay, sorry, thank you. All right, here. Can you see it now?
Yes, sir.
All right, I typed RStudio. So if you're following along, I hope you're following along, guys. Open the Google search engine and then type RStudio and then enter. All right, here, RStudio. Okay, so what's RStudio? Let's open this. Okay, so let's read first the, okay, about RStudio. Let me first open this. So let's try to learn more about RStudio. Okay, so I think this is all about their mission and vision. So in a nutshell, guys, people all over the world, let me just read through this. Okay, let me increase the size. Okay, are turning to R. This is what I was mentioning to a while ago, Python. This is another software, which hopefully after you learn R, you also, I'd like to encourage you also to learn. Now, it's not, for me, from my experience, it's not good to learn the two softwares at the same time. My suggestion is you first learn R, or, well, you have to learn R because we're taking it now. And then later on, once you develop some competency with it, then you learn Python. Knowing both, guys, is that will be a very, very good combination as far as skill set is concerned. Okay, so R and R Python. Let's see. Inspired by innovators in science, etc., RStudio develops free and open tools for R. Okay, so it's an open tool. It's an IDE for R. Today, millions of people download and use RStudio open source products in their daily lives. So we're not alone, guys. People across the globe, people all over the world are making use of RStudio as an IDE, an integrated development environment for R. What's the use of an IDE? Well, an IDE, it's an environment, as the name suggests. And instead of using this drab, this unwieldy interface, okay, sorry, I don't think you're seeing that. I was flashing again. I was flashing again the R. Okay, the R GUI. Okay, instead of using this, guys, which is so, let's say, unwieldy, and from my experience, it's not really very efficient as far as using this interface is concerned. So instead of using that, it's best to use an IDE, and RStudio provides that. Okay, so let's see. Okay. Okay, RStudio download. All right. So for Wednesday, guys, you should have downloaded this. Of course, we're going to use the free, the open source license. Okay, this will be sufficient already. There are professional studio servers, but we will not need that. RStudio, the free source, open source, is already very sufficient for us. It will be more than sufficient, in fact, for our purposes. So make sure that you download this, guys. That will be part of your assignment for Wednesday. So two things. Number one, you should have downloaded R. Number two, downloaded RStudio as our IDE. And number three, viewed some videos in YouTube about how to navigate through, in particular, RStudio, because we're going to make use of that on Wednesday. Okay, is that clear, guys? Any questions about that assignment for Wednesday?
None po, sir.
Okay, the rest?
None po, sir.
Clear.
None, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thanks so much. I hope after this, guys, if you're free, i-download nyo na, no? Download R and download R Studio also. We're going to make use of R Studio as our working environment. However, you cannot download R Studio without R. It's just like the analogy is R is the engine and R Studio is a dashboard. When you drive a car, guys, you can see the dashboard, but the dashboard is actually driven by the engine. Without the engine, guys, there's no dashboard to speak of. So I hope that analogy is quite clear. The R Studio is your dashboard. R is your engine. It's your machine. Okay, R Studio cannot work without R. R can work without R Studio. However, it might not be a good environment to work in. Okay, but R Studio cannot work without R. So once you have downloaded this, guys, whether you're using Mac or Windows, you now have, when you open R Studio, you will now have this. Can you see the screen, guys?
No, sir.
You can't see the screen? Okay, sorry. All right, can you see it now?
Yes, sir.
All right. So this is your R. Okay, this is your R Studio. Okay. If you notice, guys, there are 4 window panes here. There are 4 windows pane. Okay, you have your R script. This is where you can type your codes. Okay, for example, let me just give a very, you can do arithmetic, for example, which we're going to learn next meeting, 2 plus 3, for example. And then, so you have here your script window. And then on this side, you have your console window. By the way, guys, when you first open R Studio, it might not appear this way. The order might be different. Okay, so please get to know how to arrange the order. It's very easy, guys. You can go here to Tools, and then Global Options. Okay, sorry for just telling how to do this. Okay, here, Appearance and Pane Layout. Okay, so you'll get to learn more about this, guys, when you download your R and R Studio. Okay, I will suspend the discussion of that. I want you to explore on your own first how to navigate through your R Studio. So this is how your R Studio looks like. You can modify the appearance of this. So many things that you can do with this. So here, this is the script window. This is where you type your codes. You can also type your codes in your console window, but the answer appears, guys, in your console here. For example, here I type 2 plus 3. Okay, then let me, for example, let me 10 minus 4. Oops. All right, so 10 minus 4, that's 6. You can do lots and lots of arithmetic process here. Okay, I'm just typing randomly. Okay, it's very convenient to perform these operations in R. Okay. You can also get the log of numbers. For example, log of 24. Okay. All right, all of this, guys, these operations we're going to start to learn this Wednesday. So you have to have your R and R Studio already installed in your laptops or in your PCs. All right, so as I said, there are 4 windows here. This is your script window. This is your console. Here you have your files, plots, and packages. Okay, if you're going to plot, if you're going to do visualization, then the plots will appear here. The diagrams will appear here. This is adjustable. You can increase the size of this. Okay, so that's why R Studio is used by people who make use of R, because it really makes your processes using R very efficient and very easy. And then in the environment, guys, here you'll see the objects that we have created. For example, how do you create an object in R? Let's suppose I'm going to create an object called A. Okay, that's how you name objects in R. And then we're going to make this symbol, this less than minus. This is what you call your, okay, so let me just first, 45 divided by 6.7. Okay, and then I'm going to make use of, take a look at this, guys. Assignment. Okay, can you see the screen, guys?
Yes, sir.
All right, so in this code, guys, I'm creating an object, I'm calling it A. Okay, and take a look at this symbol. This is less than and then minus. This is what you call your assignment operator. The assignment operator assigns, as the name suggests, assigns a particular value to a particular name. Okay, so in this case, I'm saying I'm creating an object, and this object is called A, and the value of A is equal to 45 divided by 6.7. Okay, and then notice that I wrote here hashtag. In R, when you type hashtag, it means it's a comment. So a hashtag means a comment, and R will not run that code because it will read it as a comment. So this is good because, for example, you're writing a code and then you would want to remember what that code is all about. You'd like to give it a description. So you can just write hashtag and then write your description for that. So for example, for this one, I'm saying that your assignment operator is less than and minus. Okay, so if we run this, how do I run that? There are several ways to run this. If you're using the mouse, you can click here. Okay, you can click run. Okay, when you click source, okay, so let's do this one at a time. For example, if I run this, okay, what happened? All right, here you have, in the console, you see this, that it was run here. Okay, it was run here. However, it did not give you the value of A. But in the environment window, you see here, you now have an object called A, and A has a value of 6.72 something. That's your 45 divided by 6.7. Okay, so you can find it here in your environment window, and you can use this because an object has already been created called A. You can use that in your operations in your other codes. Now, if you say, I want the value to appear here in your console, that's very easy. You can just retype A, okay, and then, all right. So I typed A again, and then what I pressed was Control Enter. Okay, don't mind those things yet, guys. We will have formal lessons on that this coming Wednesday already. So you see that it was already also printed here. Okay, any questions so far, guys?
None, sir.
Okay, so you'll be surprised that R is not, the learning curve might be quite steep for some topics, but for most of the topics, also like using R as a big calculator or using R for basic functions, it's really very easy and easy to navigate through. So we have already created an object called A. Now, suppose I want to create also another object. Okay, so what do you want B to be, guys? Sound off, please. Okay, let me see, E to the, are you familiar with E, guys? Oops. Sorry. Let me see if this is correct. All right. Okay. Here, guys, I introduced this expression exp to the first power. Okay. exp stands for exponential. Okay. I'm sure all of you have heard of the number pi, right, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Which we have been taught that it's approximately equal to 3.14, right? I'm sure you have learned about that in your even in your elementary or high school days. Pi is an example of an irrational number. It's an example of a transcendental number. Now, an irrational number is a number that cannot be expressed as a proportion of A over B, which means it cannot be expressed as a fraction, or it's not a repeating decimal or a terminating decimal. So which means that pi is, if we ask a very powerful computer to generate pi, then it will be a non-repeating, non-terminating number. Imagine a number with size font, let's say 6, and reaching up to the moon and back to the moon and back to Earth, back to the moon. Non-ending, non-repeating, non-terminating. That's pi, guys. Okay. In the same manner, the E number, the exponential number, is also just like that. So let me generate that. exp1. So what's the value of exp1, guys? Okay, so it's 2.718282. Okay, better still, guys, sorry. So let me just generate another object. I'm creating an object C, and then for C, I'm calling it C represents this number, e to the first power, okay? All right, so this is E, guys. 2.71828182. This is non-repeating, non-terminating. So it's just like pi. All right, we're going to make use of E in our discussions because this is a number that's often used in finance. All right, so we have here an object called A, B, and C. Okay, this is A, it's 6.7 something. B is this one. E raised to the 2.5. This is, by the way, the shift. Okay, the shift sign. That's a caret sign, sorry. Caret sign is the symbol used in exponents in R, okay, also in Excel. All right, so you have here three objects, A, B, and C. Okay, we can create another object D and call it, okay. So here I'm creating another object D, and it's equal to the sum of A, B, and C. So if I press enter here, all right, so you now have this object D, okay, which is just the sum of A, B, and C. Okay, clear so far, guys?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, so on Wednesday, guys, we're going to start already. I'm going to upload some files which we're going to use for Wednesday. So kindly make sure that you have already your R and R Studio installed in your laptops or in your PCs. Okay, so let me backtrack a bit, and I just gave you a sample of how the R uh, GUI, our graphic user interface, looks like. Okay, so we'll be making use of this for for the whole term. We're going to make use of R, and hopefully, guys, by the end of the term, you have developed a certain level of competency. And and again, guys, I will really encourage you not just to limit yourselves to learning R in our limited sessions, but explore and own the software itself. Own it by learning more on your own and trying to see more applications of R. And there are many out there, many tutorials, many, as I said, guys, there's no limit to learning R on your own. And it will be good to write that as part of your CV, that you have knowledge and competency as far as R is concerned. All right, so let me go back now to I hope I have made clear what I expect from you this coming Wednesday. So let me just reiterate that. On Wednesday, I expect you to have R downloaded in your respective computers. And then also R Studio, have it downloaded also and installed. And thirdly, you have seen or watched some introductory modules or videos on how to navigate through R and R Studio. We're going to make use of R Studio for our IDE and not so much R. We're not going to use R itself as a window or a tool in writing our codes, but we're going to use R Studio. All right, so let me go back to our syllabus. Where's our syllabus? Can you still see the screen, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me go back here. Okay, backtrack a bit. Okay, so for the assessment, evaluation and grading system, quizzes 20%, final project 20%, problem sets 20%, midterm exams 20%, final exams 20%. So these are the composition, the percentage, the weights for your grade, and we're going to use the DLSU grading system. Okay, you know this. Okay, quizzes will most probably will have 2 or 3 depending on our pace, and it will be both online and also case study. Okay, the case that's we normally call it take home, right? And just a term to say that the quiz will not be taken synchronously. So there will be synchronous quizzes, 2 or 3, at most 3. And then there's a final project, problem sets. And then I'm not sure yet if we're going to have midterms, but if it's midterms, then it will be part also of the quiz. And then we'll have a final exams. The final exams will be 2 parts. One is online, and the other one is take home. Okay, so I already mentioned this a while ago. All right, I'd like to focus, guys, on the applications. I mentioned this in passing last time, but I'd like to really focus on this. Okay, so we're going to, on as per schedule, on week 8 or 9, we're going to have hypothesis testing. Okay, you had this discussion already in your DSI-lytic hypothesis testing. This time we're going to learn hypothesis testing in the context of R and R Studio. When I say R, I technically mean R Studio. And then we're going to have statistical tests. We're going to conduct different types of hypothesis testing. and we're going to interpret it, and then we're going to have a case study on hypothesis testing. If you notice here, there are group exercises. There will be individual and group exercises. So we will have to decide kung group yan. Most of the activities will be group exercises, but I am deciding to limit it either to 2 to 3 members per group, because for my experience, pag 4 na medyo nagkakaroon na ng freeloading. Nagkakaroon ng complaints, nagkakaroon ng may mga nagsusumbong sa akin na this person is not contributing to the group work. So siguro naman kung 2 lang kayo or at most 3, but I prefer really 2, it's more difficult for me kasi mas marami akong check-in. But I just want to make sure that all of you are really contributing to your group's effort. Most probably it will be 2, and in certain cases it will be 3, but definitely no 4 members to a group. Okay, so after hypothesis testing, guys, okay, we're going to do basic regression. Okay, so we're going to learn what linear regression is. Basic regression refers to that type of regression where you only have one independent or explanatory variable. Okay, so we'll have examples where your explanatory variable is numerical and also categorical. And then after that, we're going to do multiple regression. Okay, so multiple regression is that case when you have several explanatory variables or independent variables and just one dependent variable. And then we're going to do inference. Okay, we're going to interpret and do diagnostics for our regression model and do simulation-based inference for regression. Okay, any questions so far, guys?
None, sir.
None?
None po.
Okay, so I think, guys, just for today, I'm going to let you go, and then that will, I hope, kindly, okay, not really let you go, but let's spend the rest of the time for you to install R and R Studio. And in case you have questions, now will be a good time to do that. Okay, I might not be able to answer everything, especially if it concerns hardware configurations, because I don't know your PCs or your laptops. But let's spend the rest of the 20 minutes or so for you to download R and R Studio. And I'd like you to, after that, chat in the box. Please chat in the box if you were able to download R and R Studio. Okay, so kindly chat there. I was able to download R and R Studio. Okay, is that okay, guys? So please don't leave yet the session. I'd like you to PM there in the chat box. I want to know. I just want to make sure that many of us, if not all, are able already to install R and R Studio. Okay, and also those who were not able to have their attendance checked, kindly inform me now. All right, so let's spend the rest of the few minutes left for you to navigate through R and R Studio. I'm seeing here some messages. Oh, good. All right, so let me just see some questions here. R Studio server, that's used for companies where you have a server, okay? Pag ang server kasi parang sa pag company yan, meron silang let's say how do I explain that? Parang may data center sila na andun yung repository ng mga data, no? So you're going to use our desktop naman. I'm assuming that you have a standalone desktop that you're using. Pierre, does that answer your question? Pierre?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. DJ, ang suggestion ko, i-update mo na, no? Kung 3.6, I think you were one of those who said na nagka-introductory na kayo. I-upgrade mo na siya, no? I-upgrade mo na sa 3.6 Ano ba to? 3.6.1? 4.0.3 na tayo eh, no? So paki-upgrade na. Kasi because some of the packages might, especially those that we're going to install, might not no longer work in older versions of R. No? DJ, okay ba yan?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. John, that's good. Thank you. Na-download mo na si R at saka si R Studio. Okay, si Chevy, yes. Desktop, no? You download the desktop.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Erica, thank you. Na-install mo na si R and R Studio. Good. John, Peter, that's good. Lauren, okay. Okay, good, Lauren. Thank you. Okay, good. Stephen, acknowledging your message. You were able to download R and R Studio. Good. Jameson. Okay, good. Thank you, Jameson. You were able to download both. Okay, so Mig, sandali babalikan kita ngayon sa attendance. So those who were not able to have their attendance checked, okay, Domingo, Maria, Mr. Garcia, are you here? Wala. So, Migs, Banjon, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Sino pa? Beatrice?
Present, sir.
Okay. Okay. So, Queenie? Okay, looks like Queenie is not here. And then lastly, again, one more time. Okay, Domingo, Mr. Domingo, Mr. Garcia. All right, not here. Okay, so let me go back to the all right. So, sandali So, Stephen, I think I mentioned your name a while ago. Jameson, okay. Migs, okay, na-check na attendance mo. Hans, you're using a... Hans, na-resolve mo na? So, let me skip Hans.
Hindi ko pa na-resolve, sir.
Okay. Nasa characters yan, yung UTF-8, no? Ang suggestion ko, Hans, tingnan mo yung yung warning, i-copy paste mo tapos i-Google mo rin kasi what's good about installing is that pag may mga problems, you can also copy what's the message and then i-Google mo rin, and then these conditions have already been met before and dealt with accordingly. So you'll be guided by that, no?
Okay.
Hans? Sige, sabihan mo ako kung na-resolve
sige, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Samantha, okay, thank you, Samantha. Hans, tried finding it sa website ng Crancer but can't find it. I downloaded it na. Ikaw pala, Hans, ano? Sige. Sige, just keep on doing it, Hans, no? Craig.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Craig, thank you. Downloaded. Melanie, installed R and R Studio. Okay, Helen. Okay. Okay, si Hans na lang may problem, ano? Okay, the rest, guys. Sige, subukan ko siguro mag-poll para alam ko, no?
Para may statistic lang tayo dito. I haven't tried poll. Guys, pa-check nga kung may lumabas na poll sa inyo.
Sir, wala sa akin.
Wala.
Sir, none.
I haven't used this before kasi yung poll. How do I send this? Yeah, sige. Next time na lang to explore ko kung paano. I haven't tried doing a poll in Zoom. Save ko na naman. After saving. Okay. Okay. Hindi ko maano yung poll eh. Okay, anyway. So, may mga chat pa. Okay, thank you, Anton. Thank you, Hesed. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Sophia. Okay. Hans, balitaan mo ko kung ano nangyari, ha?
Sige, sir.
Okay.
Message na lang kita, sir.
Sige, please, ha? Please, I'll appreciate that para ano.
Thank you.
So far, hindi ko alam kung anong gagawin kasi first time ko na-encounter yung ganyang ano.
Parang okay na, sir. Pero yung R Studio ko may problem rin.
Yung R Studio. Pero yung R okay na.
Yes, sir. Okay na yung R.
Try to reinstall na lang si R Studio, no?
Sige, sir.
Okay. All right. So, guys, you have actually done your assignment for Wednesday. You have downloaded R and R Studio. So, I'll leave you guys. Just for today, guys, ngayon lang tayo mag-ano, ha? Ngayon, I'll leave you, I'll let you go early, no? But for next time, babawiin natin yung 15 minutes na to na I'll give you for free, no? So, ang assignment nyo, na-install nyo na si R and R Studio. Please try to view videos, short tutorials, guys, kung paano gagamitin si R Studio, paano gagamitin, how to navigate through the 4 panels, so that this coming Wednesday, when we start navigating through R, using the functions of R, medyo may alam na kayo, no? Hindi yung parang nangangapa pa kayo. Is that okay, guys, with you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay lang ba? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So far, guys, okay naman yung pace natin. Hindi ba ako masyadong mabilis or yung mabagal ba, mabilis ba?
Okay naman, sir.
Okay lang.
Sakto lang, sir.
Sige. Hindi pa naman tayo talaga formally start. But when we formally start na, dun, medyo na tayo, full blast na tayo. And that will be on Wednesday, guys, when we have our first formal session about R and R Studio and navigating through through that. So your assignment will be view, hanap kayo sa YouTube, introduction to our studio, how to navigate through our studio, how to do functions, operations, etc. in our studio. Okay? Any more questions, guys?
Answer.
None? Okay, if there are no questions, guys, let's call it a day, guys. Para first day natin ngayon, medyo gusto kong I'd like you to spend the rest of my 15 minutes pa actually, but on your own na lang, no? Navigate through YouTube or Google, and then look for tutorials on how to navigate through, as I mentioned a while ago, R and R Studio. Okay, guys?
Okay, sir.
By the way, guys, we will start on time. Next 9:15 sisimula na kagad ako. So let's have that discipline. Let's not have yung maghihintayan pa tayo ng mga 5 minutes. Yung window natin I'm going to open the Zoom meeting mga 9:10, okay? So and then if flash ko yung time, yung official Philippine time, and 9:15 and punto, guys, we're going to start, okay? That way we're not wasting time waiting for each other. Is that okay, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so thank you so much, guys. I'll see you on Wednesday. Sige, ha?
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Sige, thank you, guys. Thank you. Okay, bye-bye.